sensitive today?
Yay.
Yeah.
We love you, Sean.
Thank you, Chris. I'm a lot sensitive today. When I was a little kid, my mom used to take us down to Huntington Beach, to the beach in Huntington Beach. And I loved it. It was my favorite place to be in summer especially. And I remember some days the waves were just nice and gentle and easy, and you could just go out on your raft and it was coasting. Other days the waves were kind of big and radical, and I was a little kid and I had no fear. I never thought about it. Now when I think about it, I think, oh man, I was a brave little girl. But I didn't worry about it at all. And I'd go out there and I'd body surf and I'd just have the greatest time. And after a while, if you do this, you realize that you see this big wave coming at you, and as you're trying to move out into the little bit deeper water, you get crashed by the wave, right? Anybody else ever do that? You have?
Yes.
And you learn after being beat down a few times that you have an option, that when the wave is coming, you can go under. It takes courage to do that, though, because everything in us says, stay up on top. Keep your head over the water. Stay up here. Everything says, don't go under there. But you learn that sometimes is the gentlest option. Go under here, and you'll come out the other side of the wave. Rather than, here comes the wave. Sometimes I'd get out there, and I would find, and I didn't realize it until I would find myself way down the beach. Where's Mom? Where's friends? And so I'd have to walk back until I found where Mom was parked on the beach. Course correcting. I just course correct. Never scared me, but I thought, well, what a metaphor all these things are. I remember hearing about riptides. Never scared me to be in a riptide. I guess I've probably never been in one, but I remember hearing the lifeguards say, if you're an advanced swimmer, you can go out today, but if you're not, you might want to stay close to shore. But the thing I heard most was, don't fight it. Because if you fight a riptide, it's worse. It's going to pull you. If you're not sure what a riptide is, it's when the undercurrent is pulling out. Even though the waves are still coming in, the riptide goes, and it can be a panicky thing. It's pulling you deeper and deeper and deeper out to where you don't really want to be. But the thing to do in that moment is to relax. The thing to do in that moment is to be buoyant, to let your natural buoyancy work for you. But shoot, is that the first thing you think of?
No.
I guess I can't really hold still even if I sit down, can I?
That's what we love about you.
I'm just trying to hold still. So, but yet it makes sense, doesn't it? If we just let our natural buoyancy let us be on top of the water, the riptide underneath won't catch us and pull us down. So all this childhood memory about the beach and the waves is where I'm going today. I'm letting the idea of the ebb and flow of the waves and the riptide and the course correction and all of that be my analogy for today. It's about knowing how to navigate it, isn't it? If we learn that we can go under the wave, now we know something. If we learn to float on top and not get caught by the riptide, now we know something. We've learned how to navigate that. And that is just like life. Some days we get, God, how many more waves are going to get me down? Until we learn when we go under. And I'll come out okay on the other side. So I have a bazillion things I can say, but I am also going to use one of my friends. Reverend Christian Sorensen wrote this beautiful book called Catch the Spirit, Riding the Waves of Life. For all of you who have ever been down to Seaside Center for Spiritual Living for our practitioner graduations down there in Encinitas, that's Reverend Christian. He's the one who wrote this book. He's a surfer. And so he has a whole lot of understanding about this subject. So let me read a few and then we'll keep going. He says, the sea is fickle. You ride the big surf on the ocean's terms, not yours. Okay, right there is a lesson I'm not being a control freak. One spends life chasing the waves. Every day of surfing brings unlimited possibilities. The higher the surf, the more excitement you can look forward to. But the more exciting the ride, the greater the possibility of the wipeout. Those times when the wave wins the battle and pulls you under. I had those times on the beach too, where my belly would be rubbing the sand after I came up from the wave. Getting wiped out is a part of life, teaching you valuable lessons: patience, strength, and confidence. Navigation. When we learn to navigate, when we wipe out, that's often how we learn. We wipe out and we think, oh, how could I have done that different? And we learn to navigate. And that's exactly what this is all about. So I want you to think about for a minute a time in your past when you were riding the big high waves and you were about ready to wipe out, or maybe you did wipe out, but it came out okay. So just take a minute and think. It came out all right. Can you all think of something in your life that was either a wipeout time or close to it, but it ended up all right? That unnecessary worry that we went through. And something in that, you learned something, didn't you? You learned some sort of navigation. You learned some sort of tool. You learned some sort of practice to help you get through that time. And so sometimes I ask us to look at those past successes because we can use them now. Whatever we're going through at the moment, if we anchor on, oh yeah, I remember that very scary time and I came through it okay. And I can kind of take those things and I just like tuck them in here. Because what it does for me, and I offer to you to use it too, is let it assure you that you're going to be all right. Let it assure you that whatever's going on, you can learn to go under the wave. You can learn to course correct. Those things that you learned before are still fresh. And so when you go into a new situation that feels a little scary, okay, right? So put it in your pocket and let it assure you that you're going to be all right. Let me tell you another one from him. I picked 3, but boy, I could have read the whole book to you today. In surfing, dropping in is a term for a place where your trust is absolutely challenged. You're right on top of the crest of a wave, looking down the face of it. It's like being right at the very edge of a breakthrough, where the choice is yours. You either push yourself into the new experience, or you walk away, or swim away. It's okay to rest on the crest of the wave for a moment. It can be a great elevated perspective to see out from. But it takes one last conscious effort, one extra paddle to commit and to push in. And then you drop in free fall. You're very clear and focused as to where you're going, and the board goes with you to support you. In life, when you're at the edge of a peak experience, you have to consciously push yourself in. With the push comes the risk, the danger of falling. But with the push also comes the opportunity for success, fulfillment, and wonder. Woo! When I read that, I'm like, that nailed it. That nailed it. For those times, it's like, I'm right at that edge, and this is that moment I can push myself in, dropping into the wave, or I can say, forget it. And he goes on in here to talk about how many times he did both. Many times he'd be at the crest and say, nah, and he'd back off. Either too big, too little, for whatever reason, chose not to ride that particular wave. But that little piece about you have to push yourself, you know, you're at that moment of, oh man, this could really be a great growth opportunity here, but oh man, this could really suck. You know, I'm just being real raw today. We've got these moments. Am I going to push myself in? Am I going to trust that something is going to guide me, like his surfboard under his feet? Am I going to use that moment of trust, or am I going to run away from it? That's why I lit the candle for trust. Let's not beat ourselves up either way. If we push in, we decide to push in, and we wipe out, let's not say, well, see, I shouldn't have done it because I wiped out. Let us navigate it. How can I have learned this differently? If we choose to back off, Let us not give ourselves a hard time because we backed off. Because there's always another day, there's always another lesson, there's always another opportunity for growth.